Most people think their problem is motivation. They think they need more energy, more confidence, more inspiration. But the truth is quieter than that. The real issue isn't that you don't want a better life. It's that your mornings are shaping you in the wrong direction. Your life isn't falling apart because you're weak. It's slowly drifting because your mornings have no structure. And when the beginning of your day is chaotic, the rest of your life spends its time trying to recover. Every day begins the same way for most people. You open your eyes, and before your body fully wakes up, your mind is already tired. Not from work, not from effort, but from noise. Thoughts rush in, notifications wait, responsibilities hover. And without realizing it, you start the day reacting instead of choosing. You don't lose your future in one bad decision. You lose it in small, unnoticed moments. The first hour of the day decides more than you think. Not because it's magical, but because it sets the tone for everything that follows. Every morning, you stand at a quiet crossroads. One path builds clarity, control, and momentum. The other keeps you stuck in reaction mode, letting the world decide how you feel. Most people don't consciously choose the second path. They simply fall into it. This isn't about becoming extreme. It's not about waking up at 4 a.m. or copying someone else's routine. It's about reclaiming ownership over the start of your day. Because when you win the morning, life stops pushing you around.
The first habit is simple, but it's powerful. Wake up at the same time every day. Not because early is better, but because consistency creates control. When your body knows when to wake up, your mind stops negotiating. You remove friction before it starts. This isn't just a sleep habit, it's a signal to yourself. A signal that you decide when the day begins, not your mood, not your phone, not your excuses. When you master your wake-up time, you take the first step toward mastering yourself. A disciplined morning doesn't just organize your schedule, it organizes your identity. You start seeing yourself as someone who follows through, and that self-image quietly changes how you move through the rest of your life. The second habit is where most people lose control immediately, reaching for your phone as soon as you wake up. Notifications, messages, videos, headlines. Within minutes, your attention is pulled outward. Your mind becomes crowded before you've even taken a breath. Your brain isn't designed to process the entire world the moment you wake up. When you flood it with information first thing in the morning, you drain clarity before the day even starts. That's why so many people feel exhausted without doing anything. The rule is simple. No phone for the first hour. Not forever, just long enough to let your mind wake up on its own terms. Use that hour to do real things. Make your bed. Drink water. Step into sunlight. Let your nervous system settle before you invite chaos in.
That first hour decides everything. Because whoever controls the morning controls the emotional tone of the day. When you start calmly, the rest of life feels lighter. When you start scattered, everything feels harder than it needs to be. The third habit is movement. Most people wake up and immediately sit still. They scroll, they hunch, they shut their system down. Then they wonder why they feel foggy, unfocused, and disconnected from themselves. Movement isn't about fitness. It's about activation. Your body is designed to move first and think clearly after. When you move, oxygen increases, blood flows, chemicals shift, energy turns on. You don't need a workout plan. You need motion. A short walk, stretching, push-ups, anything that reminds your body it's alive. The moment you move, your internal state changes. Clarity follows movement, not the other way around. Sitting still all morning keeps your system asleep. This is why successful people move early. They don't wait to feel ready. They move, and readiness follows. Control your body, and your mind stops resisting. The fourth habit is how you fuel yourself. Most people start their day with sugar, caffeine, or nothing at all. They spike their energy, crash an hour later, and spend the rest of the morning fighting their own biology. Protein changes this. It stabilizes blood sugar. It keeps energy steady instead of volatile. It sharpens focus and reduces cravings. It gives your body the signal that you're preparing for effort, not collapse.
This doesn't have to be complicated. eggs, yogurt, a protein shake. What matters is intention. You are fueling a system that needs to function. When you eat like your body matters, you start treating your life like it matters too. The fifth habit is the most uncomfortable and the most powerful. Do the hardest task first. Most people spend their mornings avoiding discomfort. Emails, messages, busy work, things that feel productive but change nothing. Your willpower is strongest in the morning. Every decision drains it. Every distraction weakens it. If you waste your best energy on small tasks, you have nothing left for the work that actually matters. So you attack the hardest thing first, the task you're avoiding, the one that scares you, the one that moves your life forward. You do it before your mind starts negotiating, before excuses appear, before doubt gets a voice. The single habit rewires how you see yourself. You become someone who faces resistance instead of running from it, and that identity shift changes everything. These habits aren't about perfection. They're about repetition.
You don't need motivation. Motivation fades. You need systems that work even when you don't feel like it. Protect the first hour of your day. Execute without emotion. Let discipline do the heavy lifting. Because discipline doesn't care how you feel. It carries you forward anyway. The life you want isn't built in one breakthrough moment. It's built quietly, morning by morning, choice by choice, when no one is watching, when there's no applause, when it's just you peeping a promise to yourself. That's where real confidence comes from. Not from words, from evidence. And this is where inner child comes in. Not to push you harder, but to remind you of something you already knew once, that you deserve structure, that you deserve calm, that you deserve a life that feels intentional. You don't need to fix everything today. You just need to fix tomorrow morning. If you're ready to take control of how your days begin, stay with this channel. Inner Child is where discipline meets self-respect, where growth starts quietly, and where your future begins, one morning at a time.